you have a question that you want to ask, I would ask you to use the chat applet that you see on your screen. You can just type your question and send them to me or any specific presenter that you want them to answer. So please keep that in mind during this web meeting, and then we'll start with the web meeting. Um, we have students from Merrimack that have joined us. We also have some of the Merrimack representatives with here. I want to introduce some of them to you as we move along. But before I do that, on your screens you should be able to see um, instructions to all the attendees. Again, I am requesting all our attendees to have your microphones on mute. If you have any questions, please use the chat applet that you see on your screen. If you want to say something or share anything with us, please raise your hands. There's a little feature that you will see on just beside your name on the control panel, which you can use to ask control. I can give you control if you want to talk or ask a question. Okay, but as we move into this web meeting, we will answer a lot of your questions. The goal of this webinar is to make sure that we as Merrimack understand reasons. Yeah, we understand reasons for are not what are your moving forward, looking Merrimack as the destination to do your masters. We hope that our presenters and speakers today can give you all the information that you've been seeking or been wanting from us, and share their experiences that can help elevate. Okay, I will move on to the next slide. Our presenters. A request again. Have your microphones on mute. All right. I want to introduce our presenters and speakers. We have Sheldon Wall-Brown. Many of our attendees here in this web meeting, they've had a chance of talking to Sheldon Wall-Brown during the recruiting process. So many of you would know Sheldon Wall-Brown. We are going to give him a chance to share a few words with us. At some point during this web meeting, we will also have George Rancourt, who's going to be our one of our presenters. He's not in the web meeting yet, but at some point I think he's going to join us. But the good thing is we have all our superstars from Merrimack. I'm sure a lot of you attendees are looking forward to hearing things from Nirmal, Boaz. We also have Gautam. Gautam is our one of the very first students that joined Merrimack from India. He is here in India currently on vacation, but he's taken some time out to join us and share a few words, share his experiences with you. Um, uh, Several students from Merrimack, they join us on these webinars every week, and they talk to students who are interested in joining Merrimack or any other university. The goal is to see that we answer all your questions, eliminate doubts in your mind, and help you make an informed decision about which is what's the right choice for you, or which is the best college for you to go do your masters. Okay, some of the pieces that our presenters will cover is on our next slide. But before I move on to the next slide, I also have I'm not too sure if Rachna is here, but the contact that you see on the slide on your screen is, you will see Rachna. Rachna is our coordinator. She's also a Merrimack coordinator. That's a number you see on your screen. Rachna will be the one that will reach out to you to see if you have any more questions, and if you would like to move ahead with the process of completing your application. If you want to reach out to her, that's a number you see on your screen. Feel free to reach out to her anytime between 9 to 6 or 7 during the day. She's always available, and she's ready to talk to anyone who wants to go to Merrimack. Okay, I will move on to the next piece. The next piece is basically things that our presenters will talk about. Um, Sheldon Wall-Brown, even though he's not going to do a Merrimack presentation, because he's had a chance of talking to you, he's going to share very little with us, but he's going to be open throughout the web meeting to answer any questions you have for him. He's going to start off by saying a few words about his experience talking to some of you, or some of the other students that have been admitted at Merrimack. George Rancourt, hopefully he will join us and share a few things about why Merrimack is a great choice. What is Merrimack's reputation, how strong it is with the community, and how good it is as a location. He is also responsible for housing services and support services for international students. So he is very much in touch with all our students from India that are at Merrimack. So you will be seeing a lot of him when you decide to go to Merrimack and do your masters there. Gautam, Nirmal, Bose, and others. These are our superstars, and we always like to bring them to these webinars so that they can share their experience. What I hope they can do today is some of the points that you see on the slide. Um, I would like them to share their journey, their experience of their journey from India to Merrimack College. Um, what's their learning experience like, what are some of the teaching styles, what are the differences that they see with the Indian teaching style and the US teaching style, because I think that's really important. Many of our students that we talk to here that want to go to the US for their their further studies, they don't really understand um, the differences in the teaching styles, right? So I think it's important for you to learn a little bit about that before you make a decision. What kind of support does Merrimack give for to help you kickstart your career once you finish your masters? That's another important piece that I think our students will want to share with our attendees. Um, International student community, how strong it is, how quickly it is growing. Those are things I think all our attendees should also know. And setting realistic expectations. Um, there's been a lot of news about students going to the US not being happy. They are really not well informed about the current happenings in the US, and things like learning their culture, what is expected from an international student from the college perspective, and what students can really expect from Merrimack. Those are little things that I think our students from Merrimack here in this web meeting can share with the other attendees. What I want to do is I want to quickly pass the control to Sheldon and have him kickstart start the meeting for us, and then we'll move the controls to one of our students. And as we move along, I encourage all our attendees here that have their admits and that have their admits from Merrimack and are still on the fence, and we basically want to help you make a good decision, and anything that we can help you with, please, 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 and I say please again, feel free to ask your questions. If you're not comfortable getting on the microphone, please just type your question in the chat applet that you see on your screens, and we'll be happy to address that. Okay, Sheldon.
Thank you, Zach. And it's great that everybody is here with us today. I think we've got a good attendance for the students that are looking to join Merrimack. And I have, as Zach mentioned earlier, had the pleasure of speaking with, I think, just about everybody that has joined us on the call. There are a lot of great students that have already joined Merrimack for fall 2016, and I'm hoping that we'll have a good number of additional students that are going to join us as well from this call. I have always told everybody when I have talked to them individually or when I've done presentations, you really need to do your homework. You really need to educate yourself about the schools that you're looking to attend, because you want to make the right decision. Any master's degree program is a huge investment. So we put this webinar together so that students don't have to just listen to me rambling on or Zach setting it up, but you can actually talk to students and ask them the questions about their experience. And without going into too much detail about why Merrimack is awesome, I do want the students on this call to really focus on what I think makes Merrimack special, and that is the academic community. The students that are on this call tonight will tell you about how wonderful their experience has been, the support they have received as they've made this really big step to an academic opportunity in the United States. It is not something that every school offers. The support, not only from the student-teacher ratio, to the class sizes, to the community events, to the orientation that we provide. It's the environment of caring that you see from our faculty. And you'll see from the stories from these students that that is what you get at Merrimack. And it's something you don't find at a lot of schools, big schools, where you just become a number. And with that, Zach, I'll turn it over to you to move it forward.
Sure. Thanks, Sheldon. What I want to do next is I want to invite Gautam, Nirmal, and the others to share their experience. I will start with Gautam because Gautam is really the first student that was at Merrimack from India, and he spent a lot of time at Merrimack. So I would want him to share his experience um, right from the time where he actually made a decision of going to Merrimack. Gautam, are you with us?
Yes, Zach, I'm with you.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Go ahead, Gautam.
Yeah. So hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Gautam Vamsi. I was from the first international student batch who's been to Merrimack. So let me start with the beginning. As you people have come, I also approached Sheldon and meeting with him. So in the I was really not prepared about what they're gonna ask in the interview. But luckily, I spoke to him and he was impressed by me and by my marks and other stuff. And I got admitted into Merrimack. When I was introduced to Merrimack, no one was really know about this Merrimack college. Everyone said Merrimack, with the colleges. Everyone were familiar with the Boston, but no one has heard the name Merrimack before. It was new to us. So I was a little bit confused, and then Sheldon had explained me about the college and he had shown me some pictures of the college. And I spoke to George. George was really helpful at that time for me. I can say that George has given me appropriate information about the campus and what kind of style was there in United States and how can we survive in United States. He had treated me really well, and I just came down there. I've seen the campus. I've been to the international office. They were really friendly with our students, international students. I met Carol. They were really helpful, and all my fears, like how was the college was and how would be the staff and how would be the environment and what would be the situations over there and what kind of people I get around there. I was so confused in starting. But after going there, after meeting Carol and after talking to George and Sheldon, I got some confidence in me that yeah, I have chosen a right college. The college is huge. It's not like a small college which we see over here. We have very friendly staff. On my first day of my class, I met one of my professors. They were really friendly. They were happy to help, and they used to give me appointments whenever I needed, and they help me study with my course curriculum. And whenever I get any problem, when I have any issues with doing assignments or any other projects, they guided me and they said this is the way you have to do it and this is how the people study in the United States. I've come to know about it, and it was really helpful, and I hope you people will get the same guidance which I got. Even you can speak to Nimal and Boyaz, even they face the same problem in the starting, so I help them. I've given them the basic information so that they can just come to United States and proceed with the further proceedings in the campus.
Sure.
Is there anything you people want to ask me?
Gautam, tell us what are you currently studying at Merrimack, and
Yeah, sorry, I forgot to mention that. Yeah, I'm pursuing my, yeah, Zach, please.
go ahead.
Yeah, Zach, go ahead. Okay. So I'm pursuing management science in Merrimack. So I'm doing the course for 2 years. I've completed my first year now.
Okay, and what would you have to tell some of our management students or students who have who have been admitted into the management program, or students that are exploring Merrimack to do the management program? What would you have to tell them as a current student of Merrimack?
Yeah, being a current student, management course is really good in Merrimack. You can learn a lot of new things in Merrimack. The course curriculum is completely different. In United States, everything is practical. While doing a course, we'll come across few subjects for global economy, professional skills, effective managerial communications, and marketing analysis. These subjects will help you a lot in the future. In the future, when you work in when you work in an organization. Let me give you some basic information regarding these subjects, like what management course offers you. The management course is all about how do we manage in an organization. They have multiple sectors in that. Just say if you have given a managerial post, how do you deal with your colleagues? What kind of communication barriers you have to overcome when you if you want to work efficiently in an organization? You'll be coming to know about that. And in one subject, you would be given a project with the people who stays in the other countries, and you have to work virtually. You have to use the social media, and you have to variate the timings because the people from the different parts of the world have different timings. So you have to make the timings accordingly and work the project and gain success with that. And by doing this, you'll have a worldwide exposure. You can understand the cultures of the other people, what they up to and what the living conditions are there and how can we work and what kind of work strategies they use. And apart from that, if you come to the job side from the Merrimack, we have very wide opportunities, job opportunities. We have job phase for the every semester, and it's a really good. Don't expect a top-notch companies, but you can get a good basic companies for starting startups. Management has so many companies which offer jobs for the management students,
Sure. Okay.
and the course which you do from Merrimack will give you will yes
Gautam, I
yes Zach, carry on.
also want to invite Nirmal into the discussion, and have him share a few things from his side, because I know he's from the mechanical division, and I want to see and compare. I basically want to compare and see if both of you have the same kind of experiences. Nirmal?
Hi, Jack.
Um, What do you think? Do you think
Yeah.
everything Gautam that he shared with us, um, are you having the same kind of experience at Merrimack?
Sorry, Zach, can you repeat your question, please?
Nirmal, I was asking you if you had the same kind of experience that Gautam has had at Merrimack when he started off there.
Yeah, it's Merrimack College is very coming to the looks of the campus. It was very good. You know, when I first arrived in the US and when I first got to see the campus, then the faculty are really good, and the other co-students, and what is like is our Merrimack College is not crowded with so many Indian students. That's the best part I can say up to now. So you have actual American students sitting with you in your class, and the opportunity to work with them and share the knowledge. That's the biggest plus point in Merrimack College.
Why do you say it's the biggest plus point?
Actually, see, it's like when you have a lot of Indian students, we are all basically on the same mindset. We have the same thinking, the same way of behaving or, acting or tackling a problem.
Sure.
But, different students from different countries have their own set of thinking and, innovation. When we get to work on a similar project, they have their views, I have my views. When we share, then we have like a kind of a fusion, and it's very good for getting along and trying to understand how they think and how they make things get going.
Sure, sure. Well, I think that's a good point you made. Um, what about your learning experience when you compare it to your education here in India versus what you're experiencing at Merrimack College?
Yeah, yeah. Coming to the education part, it's entirely different, but I don't say it's that different. But in India we used to have exams in our yearly, and then we have the final exams. But in US, what we have is entirely different. We have assignments every week which are graded and which carry weightage to your final grade. Then you have the final test. You have a again we have to do a project. It carries your weightage. Then the funny part is in your final grade there's a weightage for a thing called professionalism in engineering,
Mm-hmm.
where the professor actually interacts you to grade on that. So it's the best part. The professor always keeps in contact with you, and he would be grading you, how you interact with fellow students, how you interact with him, whether you are understanding the subject or not, whether you are asking doubts, whether you're getting what he's teaching or not. He'll make sure that you are not left alone in the class.
Sure. What percentage of practical exposure do you think students are having in the mechanical or the other departments?
It's like in Merrimack College, the subjects are designed as 50% is theoretical approach and the other 50% is practical approach, where you have they will be giving you half of the semester for doing the actual project
Uh-huh.
what you have learned in the other half of the semester.
Okay. Gautam, any similarities there? Are there any, um, is there anything done differently with management or the other, that you hear from your friends from other departments?
Management is quite similar, but the only difference is mechanical is completely technical
Yeah,
based
of
and
course, yeah,
management is
yeah.
completely
But
theoretically
I'm
and practice based.
what I'm trying to ask you, Gautam, is are there any differences in the learning experiences or the teaching styles that you are experiencing, or what you heard from Nirmal?
Uh, no, everything is basically similar. There's no much difference. The teaching style is quite similar, like what Nimal said. In our management, it is like more we have to speak to the lecturer, like more we have to discuss. The more you discuss, the more you learn.
Sure.
in the class the professor makes us to speak, but the professor gives us a topic, and it's like a debate kind, so we have to express ourselves. So what our professors do is they give us a topic, and they say has to express your views, and later after listening to all our views the professor would be correcting our views, stating that yeah, whatever you said was right, but in the organization the way is different and these kind of theories are used, like he corrects us.
Okay. Okay. In terms of
So that is
support,
really good because after yeah, yes, Zach.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I shouldn't have interrupted. Um, in terms of
No, no, please
support,
carry on.
in terms of support to the students from from the faculty, how approachable are they, and you know, how are they really helping you or the other international students at Merrimack? Um, you know, with all the cultural differences, with
Faculty.
all the sudden difference in learning styles. How is the faculty helping the international students?
Faculty are really friendly with international students. Whenever, if I in my first semester, I was not familiar to the United States culture, so I faced a problem like understanding the subject or understanding the way they do it.
Mm-hmm.
So if as I'm from India, so we always have a fear that what the professor thinks if you ask him a doubt. I mean, we are shy. I was shy from my side to ask a professor, but later what I've come to know is no, we should not be shy. We have to be free. We should be free to ask the professor. And later, from later onwards, I was started asking the professor whatever the doubt I have, and they were so welcoming and they were so warm. Uh, they used to help me, like they used to sit beside me and used to tell me that this is the process what we have to follow and this is how you have to do it. And sometimes when we don't understand the lecture what the professor says, I used to meet him after the class. Professor used to give me time and used to tell me that you have to come and meet me on a particular time so that I could explain you, or else if he's free after the class he would be clearing all my doubts. And while doing the projects or while doing my assignments, if I face any issues, I would be mailing professor stating the professor I got stuck up in between of something. So could you just please help me out?
Mm-hmm.
And professor used to give me an appointment and he would be helping me personally, or else if it can be solved via email, he used to send me his feedback in an email stating that you have to approach this kind of way, you have to think in particular way so that you can get an answer. And regarding the gradings, whenever the only thing is we have to be friendly with the professor and we have to interact with him. The professor has to know that the guy is doing something and is trying to learn the subject.
Sure. Okay.
Zach, can I add a point to
Yes.
that?
Please go ahead, Nirmal.
It's like in engineering, I don't know about the management, but the professors over here consider as working professionals as we have an undergrad degree from India. They consider as a professional but not really a student. They respect your views, they ask your views. It's like whenever there's a class, in something, if we say we understand it differently and we say why the process should be going that way, but we can also do it this way. It's like a good culture debate where some professionals sit together and discuss about a common problem. The classes are much friendlier than Indian environment where interacting with the professor is not that chaotic, and it's really good. The best part is they're treating you as a professional but not as a student.
I think that's a great point, both Gautam and Nirmal made. I think it's important for students, especially from India, um, where teaching is very direct here in India. We are so used to taking directions from our professors or the faculty, um, you know, but when you suddenly move into an environment where the student is encouraged to do most of it and approach the faculty for help whenever needed. That changes a little, and the faculty actually pushing or encouraging the student, um, changes the way you learn things. So I think that those are very good points, Gautam and Nirmal. I think I totally agree with you. Some of the questions that I'm also getting from attendees is is about um, challenges. What kind of challenges are you as Indian students or students from India facing currently, or what were some of the challenges that you faced initially when you joined Merrimack, or even when you moved to the US? Nirmal, I'll start with you, and Gautam, you can come in and share your views.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, Nirmal.
The problem in the sense moving to United States, it's not really that kind of problem because the college is very engaging. I is technically after coming here I did not feel homesick right now till now.
Okay.
And second problem, the area, the where the college is set up and everything is really good. It's kind of good place. It's a good setting to be in the United States, that too in the Northeast, like the New England area.
Uh-huh.
And I don't think so. When they come to the college, when they start interacting with the other students from other international countries and then American students, they quite get along. It's not a problem, but initially they would be shy. Basically, I was shy too. When I first came, it's like talking to my counterparts. But when once we get along and once we start working together, it's all good. We are all good friends, and it's best place. There's no problem adjusting over here or anything.
Okay, and academically, are there any challenges that you are having or you had?
Academically, I don't. It's like, see, it depends on the students. The people who really wanted to work hard and get good grades and get a good degree, they will excel over in United States. But people who are just, coming for fun, they might face some problems.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, no one's coming for fun. A little fun is
Yeah,
okay, but not too much. Um,
yeah, little fun is good, but not too much fun.
yeah, too much play is not good. Gautam, do you want to add
Yeah.
anything there?
Yes. So I'll just tell my problem initially, what I have and what I've seen in my roommates and my friends. Yeah, the basic with the mindset what we come from India is
Gautam,
we
I'm
come
sorry
into
to
the
interrupt,
class, we
but can you
sit.
get your microphone a little closer to your um, the
Yeah.
mouthpiece a
Uh,
little
uh,
closer.
yeah. Is it audible now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're a
Hello?
little
Is it
low on volume though.
is it audible now?
Yeah, yeah, that's better.
Hello? Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So I'll just tell my problem. As I'm from India, basically I'm from Chennai, so I'm good in speaking. So I can move with any people around the world, and I've been to other places in the world. So it was easy for me to interact with the lecturers or interact with the fellow students and everything. But I have seen few of my friends who were directly from Hyderabad and who've been to United States. They found very difficult to communicate with the people. Everyone, most of the people most of the students have a shy feeling that what the other think when we speak to them, and what if we don't pronounce in a proper way, or else what if what professor thinks if I ask him a doubt. We have some kind of thing in our mind like we restrict ourselves in expressing ourselves. But what I suggest for the current students is, please don't limit yourself. Please be expressive, speak whatever you like, and if you have any doubts, please do ask and convey it, explore yourself, speak to the fellow students. Don't feel shy, that don't think that what others think. First you express yourself regarding and what kind of reactions when you get from the other people, react to that.
Right.
Hello.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's
Can my is my voice audible? Can everyone listen to that?
yeah. We can hear you fine, Gautam.
And
You
yeah.
made a good point.
So my only suggestion for the coming students is, please be expressive. Don't feel shy. I know most of students who come to United States are not that shy, but I have seen the 3 to 4 students who feel shy. So I'm ready to point for those students, and I want to say that no need to worry at all. We all are here. We will be here to help you out, and we have a family over there, a small Indian group students, and you won't feel any homesick as Nimal said. You will enjoy your stay in United States. My only suggestion is please work hard. Don't take anything so light. Work hard, explore yourself, refresh yourselves, upgrade yourselves, explore the college, meet the students, meet the faculty.
Right.
Gautam, if I could just jump in here for a second. You're absolutely right. I don't think it even matters if you're an Indian student or even an American student. I'm always shy when I first come to a new place. So I think if you and Nirmal could just add a little bit about what Merrimack did to welcome you and to make you feel welcome. I personally find it extraordinary the fact that a lot of us Indians are actually enjoying ice hockey matches. So
Yes, yes.
I think it would be good for you to share some of the things that students can expect upon their arrival.
I leave it to Nimal. Nimal is very experienced with all this stuff. He been to so many tours with the college. Nimal, can you explain your experience?
Yeah, yeah. Uh, Basically, from the start of the orientation is like for 3 or 4 days, and basically from the start of the orientation, it's good. Like you get to interact with each and every person whom you're going to meet and whom you have to meet in the college to get your things done. And after the orientation, it's like we have the college culture, like we have the football team, soccer team, you have the ice hockey team. Actually, ice hockey is kind of big thing in the Merrimack College. The first game which I attended, I did not get anything, but that was fun to watch with American students because they were really excited and pumped up. And I think right now when the students going to come in the fall, it's going to be good because the football season is going to start. American football, not Indian football.
Uh,
And every month college actually organizes an event where they take students out, and it's kind of free to all the students.
mhm.
So the college is really trying to integrate all the international students with the American students, and they're trying to get all into one place and make them have. The last event which we attended was, it's called laser tag. It's like a team initiative. They divided us into two teams. Then whether it's you are an American or an international student, you have to work in a team. It was good. So it's like basically everything, you're going to enjoy at Merrimack. The
So,
sports, the culture, the events.
Nirmal, so what I'm hearing is Merrimack does, you know, uh, recognize the importance of,
Try hard.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think, and I think it's important for any international student to know what effort does the college really put into helping the international students gel or uh, become a part of the Merrimack community. That's very important.
Yes.
But the next question is a very interesting question. This is a question that I think um, we get asked all the time, and I'm going to invite Sheldon or even Gautam and Nirmal to answer this. Whoever wants to take this, I'm going to leave this open. But it's a question that I think even you had, Gautam and Nirmal, even you had this question at one time. It's about Merrimack being a college and not a university. Okay, some of our attendees have a concern if the certificate or the once you complete graduation at Merrimack College, how good is that certificate when you're um, going to get a job or looking for a job in the US? Sheldon, do you want to take?
Yeah. Can I go ahead first?
Sure, go ahead, Nirmal.
Yep, Nirmal, please go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like I'm doing masters in mechanical engineering,
Uh-huh.
and my degree is equivalent to. I'm not saying it's equivalent, but it's recognized by the same recognizing body which recognizes MIT's degree, and we follow the same standards, we follow the same syllabus, and the way of teaching, the pattern is all similar to MIT. So the degree is recognized by the same entity and the same pattern they follow. So it's college, university doesn't make a difference. It's like Merrimack College has been from 1947, and it's well established over in this New England region, and it's pretty famous too.
Sheldon, do you want to add anything to it?
Yeah, and I'd jump in at this point because this is a subject. Yeah, this is a subject that students bring up all the time. It's just immensely, there's a difference between the U.S. system and the Indian system. Universities are better in India than colleges because the government says so. But if you do your research and you look at the U.S. system, you'll realize that in every top ranking, whether it's business schools or whether it's engineering programs, there will be colleges in every top ranking. This is because the government does not regulate us like this. We have 300-year-old colleges in the United States, and they are top ranked in so many areas. What it really stands for, and the reason truly that Merrimack has not changed its name, is that colleges have a long tradition of doing exactly what I said at the very beginning. Focus on students. We are there to make sure that they have an amazing experience, that they get what they need. If you take a school like Texas A&M, which I know several students have admits for, that are deciding between Merrimack and us, their college, their main college town campus has 50,000 students on it. 50,000. Even their Kingston location has 15, that's 15,000 students on that campus. You're a number. Whereas at a college like Merrimack, you have that unity experience, you have access to faculty, just like what Gautam and Nirmal have been talking about. And that is the philosophical difference. But academically, as Nirmal will tell you, the head of our mechanical engineering department is actually an MIT PhD holder. So the academic standards are the best that you'll be able to find.
Well, you know, um, but there is also another part to that question. It's about, if you had to take that degree and go to a company, how is that company basically going to look at that degree that you got from Merrimack College? Um, what kind of a reputation does Merrimack have? What do you think, Nirmal?
Yeah, I think it doesn't make any difference. It's like in US, the companies will not be looking at the college name. It's like more of you, the knowledge, what you do,
Right.
and where does your reference lie. It's like the professors, the teachers, under whom you get trained and everything. And I don't think so we have that kind of problem with Merrimack degree, because it's good as any other university or college degree.
Yeah, and there's another little story that I think I would want to share at this point, and I wish we had George Rancourt on this meeting here. But for those who don't know him, George Rancourt is also an alumni of Merrimack College. The one story that he always shared with us is that when he had his degree from Merrimack and he went for his first job interview, um, the minute they got to know that he was a student from Merrimack College, they did not even interview him, and they took him in. And he was kind of shocked with the way his first interview went. Um, and he later on, when he inquired about why did that happen, um, the one thing that they got back with is they said, we know the reputation of Merrimack, the type of students or the quality of students that it has produced. So so it's got 100% placement rate for all the engineering programs. That's all I can say at this point. And I can keep boasting about their placement numbers. But Merrimack College is always looked at one of the best colleges in United States. Um, I encourage all our attendees to, if you haven't really gone to merrimack.edu, I would encourage you to go on to the Merrimack website and look at some of the achievements it is listed there. I also am getting a lot of questions around what are the subjects covered in some of the courses, like mechanical engineering, business, and the other programs. I encourage you, and I shouldn't just say encourage. I urge you to go out there and look at those details. All the details that you need is out there. Um, get used to doing a lot of research because that's going to be important. Sheldon, do you want to add anything here?
Yeah, there's another difference between what you often find in India and the United States. In India, oftentimes the best information you can get is from talking to someone with experience. In the United States, the best way to get information is to look at what's written down. When you go to our website in the United States, if you write something false on a website, you're held liable for it. Okay, so all of the curriculums for all of our programs are laid out in great detail on each of the program sites. And like Zach, there's no better source than our website to go on there and look at those curriculums and research them and make sure they are covering the subjects that you want to learn, to make sure that you're going to be excited when you get to the campus.
Great, thanks, Sheldon. So with that being said, I want to move on to some of the other concerns that most of our Indian students have, and some of those concerns are around housing and what kind of support um, is given to them. At this point, I want to introduce you to a company called College Chalo. On the very first slide, you will see a logo which I'm sharing with you, and it should be right up on your screens now. Yeah, on the top right hand side, you should be able to see a logo which says College Chalo. College Chalo is a division of Constant Knowledge. Constant Knowledge is a company, is it's a US based company that works exclusively with Merrimack to recruit qualified students for undergraduate and the master's program, um, for Merrimack, especially regions like India, South Asia, and Southeast Asia. Those are some of the regions that we work in, and College Fellow is responsible for working exclusively with Merrimack and recruiting students like you. It is our job to find qualified people. We find students that we know will succeed um, being a part of Merrimack. Um, Now, many of you, must have heard about Merrimack College from some of the agencies that you've been working with. College Fellow works with many partners across India and several consultants, education consultants across, some of the regions that I mentioned earlier, and they are responsible to promote Merrimack in their local areas. College Chalo works with all these Indian students and also provides housing services. At this point, I want to invite Gautam and Nirmal and share some of the challenges they've had with housing, because I think that's the first thing any student should look at. Um, not getting a place, not reserving your space before you leave India, that's a big no-no for any international student. And I would want Nirmal and Gautam to tell us why having your housing fixed before you leave India is important.
Can I take a lead now?
Yes, Gautam.
Gautam. Yeah. I'll tell you my experience. When we been to Merrimack, we were only 7 students from India, and there were no other international students from India. So we were all alone. So I have my roommate called Ajay. So he was the one who came to United States first. So he searched a home for us. So we made a group. We talked together and we thought to stay together. And Ajay came here. He searched an house, and we moved into that house. So it was not so hard for me to adjust over here, like finding a house and everything, because as Ajay was here, he has his friends over here. So with his help, he found that Royalcrest Apartments was quite next to the campus, and he had checked everything. He had sent us the details when we were in India. We talked to each other, and we were always satisfied with the pricing of the house and everything, and we moved. And later, when we came, when it come to the people who came in the spring, when I hosted all the students, like I was helping them. A few of them were very good in knowing about the situation. I've explained them how do we search and housing options. So these guys made a groups, and they found a house in Royal Crest, and they made some contacts, and they have their brothers over here with the influence of them, and they came down to here. They're in the apartments, and they they set up their world over here. There are few students who haven't spoke to each other. They just kept everything on hold, and in the last moment they need a house, and which was not possible. And even we can't accommodate those students. So what I suggest the coming students is, please be clear about what you're coming to Merrimack or not, or if you're coming to here, if you're joining this campus, please make some groups, search the housing options when you are in India, see it, ask us, we will help you, and we can give you an idea where you can get a house. Be prepared for that, but don't expect the students to accommodate you for temporary accommodation, because no one does that.
Sure. Nirmal, do you want to add anything?
Nirmal, will you just
Exactly. Yep. It's like when we are the second batch to Merrimack, so we didn't have that much problem because they were already Gautam and other guys. They really helped us get accommodations. Uh, you know,
Yeah.
we were talking with them constantly, and they got our leases ready and got it signed. When we arrive, we just need to just move into the house.
Yeah.
And Gautam is the first guy we met after landing in Boston. So
Right. So now, what I
it's
want.
like if the students are clear,
Uh-huh.
sorry,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
if the students are clear and communicate with us, we are ready to help them get their accommodations ready and set up. So when they come, they just need not worry about where I am going to stay, but they just can come peacefully and move into the new places.
Right. But at the same time, I also want you to share with some of our attendees about the downside of being too dependent on the current students at Merrimack.
It's like, see, every student has his own things to worry about, and it's like we want to help the new students, but it's like we are also engaged with our own work, and it's like if they start, uh, coming and asking us for each and every help, it's too difficult for us to take out time from our usual routine and help them.
Right. Right.
we can just show you the light, and you have to walk through with your light,
Okay.
because
Yeah,
because we got our own works, we got our projects, and we got our jobs. So we can't stand by you guys, and we can't make you guys move ahead, right? So we can give you on a suggestion. We can just tell you this is how these things happen. You have to take care of that after that.
right. Um, but how will,
Anything, yeah, either it may be housing or either it may be anything.
well, the one key point I think we are all missing out on is how important is it going to be at the immigration or the port of entry when you enter the US?
Uh,
Go ahead.
the port of entry is like we didn't get asked that many questions. They just asked which college we are going. When we said Merrimack, they said good for you. It's, it didn't happen much to me or to my friends, up to
Mhm.
my knowledge. But the best thing is to be always prepared and be confident and have your confidence up.
Okay. Gautam, has any of your colleagues shared um, any of their experiences with you that you can share with us?
Hello, hello, sorry, I can't hear you. Your voice is not
Gautam, I
audible.
was
Could you repeat
asking
once
you,
again, please?
have you heard from any of your colleagues at Merrimack about having issues at the port of entry when not having an address to show?
No, no, haven't heard anything from my colleagues. Everyone were clear and there was no check at all.
All right.
No one ever asked anything curious, anything serious. The only questions were asked during the port of entry was which college and how you paying your fees. Okay, have a good stay in Boston. That's it. And even if what my experience was when I just landed, they taken me to this separate room. So they asked me which college. I said Merrimack. So were you staying initially? So I have a parents, like I have my cousin over here. So I'm going to his home for a week, and then I'll be joining the campus on the orientation day. And they asked me, are you carrying any foods? I said yes. I was carrying pickles and some friends
Sure.
who gonna take care me taking care of me for the 1 week. And they said, okay, fine, that's fine. You can just go ahead. For few people, they just take away the stuff, homely stuff which we get it. Other than that, there are no curious questions asked for the students who came from Merrimack. Everything was nice. Everything was good. Everything was easy.
Good. Okay. So the news is, or you know, in my what I'm really trying to tell our attendees here is be prepared with housing. That's an
Mhm.
important piece that the
Yes.
immigration looks at when you enter the U.S. Having arrangements made for that, it's really important. And College Chalo being here can help you with that. We will share more details with you as we move ahead. Sheldon, do you want to add anything here when it comes to housing?
Well, Zach, I'm actually smiling a lot because the fact that these guys, that Nirmal and Gautam had such an easy experience means that, the job was done right. Uh, they don't realize all the hard work that went into helping them set up. Um, Again, as I'm sure the students have heard me earlier, one of the advantages in forming those groups has been our pre-orientation that we have, where students get to know each other in advance. Now, I know that Gautam didn't get the opportunity to do that, but Normal, I do believe you went to the pre-orientation, correct?
Yes, that really helped us. We got to know who is coming and who is in the batch. So it's pretty good to have the same faces when you come to US.
Absolutely. So when you're looking to figure out your housing situation, the first step often is forming those groups, as both Gautam and Nirmal have said. So this is, again, another advantage that you find with the support that Merrimack gives you. And we went, out of our way. I know in the International Student Office, to make sure the students could figure out what they needed. And they were quite lucky that Ajay had landed before them to set it up. But it's that kind of planning that really is required. Go ahead, Zach.
Yeah. Thanks, Sheldon. Thanks for adding a few points there. I want to switch over to um, one of the questions that I'm getting from our attendees here, who's very interested in the mechanical program. And Nirmal, I think you can help answer this question for us. And this question
Okay.
is coming from Sai Charan. Sai Charan is one of our attendees here who wants to be a part of the mechanical engineering um, course. His question is around what kind of projects are the students getting for mechanical program, and because he's very interested in entering a manufacturing company after doing his MS at Merrimack. So what he thinks is, what Sai Charan thinks is that some of the subjects are not too related to what he wants to do. So can you tell us a little bit about what kind of projects are you currently working on, or you expect to work on as you continue to do your course
Yeah.
at Merrimack? Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. Uh, Actually, currently the Merrimack College Mechanical Engineering Department is transforming pretty much very fast. So basically, what I am doing is I am taking up the path of robotics. So my future plans are like after completing my masters, I want to work in a robotic farm. So the subjects which I'm choosing are selected by Professor Kapali, who is the chair of the mechanical department. After having a good talk with him, he has suggested me a group of subjects which I'm taking during my stay at Merrimack. After completing them, I'm hoping to land a good job at a robotics company. But coming to the manufacturing, we do have manufacturing subjects. Uh, so I think it depends on the student. After he comes and talks with the professor, he is your advisor. So they will be really very good to help. Maybe I guess he should contact Maureen, the Director of Engineering and Technology at Merrimack. She's a better person to get give them a good heading
Nirmal, are you still there with us?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, we missed the last part.
Oh, it's like in mechanical you have options. Like right now we have options, three main streams. Like the person who wants to be in thermal engineering, he has a specific set of subjects to take. A person who is interested in robotics, like me, I have a specific outline to follow in order to get into robotics. If, there's also manufacturing stream. There's a specific subject set of subjects which the guy who is interested in manufacturing has to follow in order to get into a manufacturing firm. And there's one more stream. It's called systems engineering. It's like general. There's again you have a specific set of subjects which has to be taken.
Great. Do you know anything what's happening with on the manufacturing end?
Right now, manufacturing end, there's Professor Rosalita. She is the person who is handling the manufacturing division at Merrimack. Right now, she is going to start a research group from this fall, up to my knowledge.
Sure.
Right now,
Okay.
if he choose Merrimack College, it would be a right place for him because in the fall, when he arrives, the group would be starting. Maybe once he would be completing his masters in a year or 1.5 year, so he would have a good opportunity to work with her in her project.
Great. Okay. Thanks for sharing that, Nirmal. Um,
Yeah.
I am getting a few questions around, what kind of subjects and what are some of the core subjects that are covered as part of some of the courses there. I don't think we'll be able to get too deep into it because again I would want our attendees to take a good look at the curriculum that's listed
The website.
on the website. Those are some of everything that's out there. But I also want to take the opportunity to invite some of our attendees here to ask questions. I think some of our attendees are wanting to speak and ask a few questions to some of our presenters here. I am going to pass control to one of our attendees here. Minnie Joseph. I'm going to pass control to Minnie Joseph, and Minnie, you can ask your question to Gautam, Nirmal, or Sheldon. Okay, Minnie, you should be able to take control and ask your question. Okay, Minnie is trying to switch on her microphone, so let's give her a few seconds. All right, Minnie, if you're not able to get access to your microphone, just type in your question for us, and I will ask the presenters the question, and they'll be able to answer your question. Um, well, I'm also getting questions on. Yeah, I'm getting a few questions around how to face the visa interview. Some of them are due to go for their visa interviews. Do you have any suggestions to some of our attendees that are going for their visa interviews?
From my
Gautam?
from my side, what I suggest is keep your finances. From my side, what I would suggest the students is keep your finances strong and be straightforward. Just answer. Don't panic.
Okay. Um, Nirmal?
Be positive. Yeah, be positive and just answer the questions whatever he asks. Don't panic and don't show your fear in your words.
Uh, my suggestion is actually it's like what Gautam said, but I'm going to just say one point. Just relax and enjoy. Just go there. Be happy. It's nothing. You're not, facing something else. Just an interview. Take it as an interview.
Well, that's easy to say, Nirmal. Everyone, you know, faces that moment. It's tough. It's tough. But I
Yeah,
think
it's tough. But basically,
exactly
if the
what
person can tune his, the mind that it's just basically an interview, then he would feel relaxed,
true.
and the amount of the pressure would lift off.
I agree.
See, Nermal,
Uh,
that's why you had such a great interview with me.
Yeah.
If I could add in a little bit here, what we're seeing for students that are having trouble is they're not sticking to the point. I heard some statistics recently that each counselor for visas is seeing 100 people per day for non-immigrant visas. That's a huge number of people that they have to meet. So when you're going to interview, they are looking for the first excuse not to give you the admit. So they're looking for you to answer in specifically two areas, broad areas. The first is the school. Okay? You need to know your program. You need to know the classes that you want to take. You need to know the address of school. When they ask you about how many schools you applied to or why did you pick Merrimack, you tell them Merrimack is the best. It's got great rankings, things very short and very sweet. Okay? Know the program. The second area is regarding financials. Okay? They are going to ask you, what is your family income? Going to ask you, what are you going to use to support yourself? They're going to ask you questions along this line. Now, one student that I talked to last semester, his visa was rejected the first time because when he asked him what the family income was, the first words that came out into his mouth were, "My father earns 2 lakhs." They stopped him right there. They gave him the rejection slip and sent him on his way. They did not let him finish the fact that they have rental income, the fact that his brother has an income, and the fact that they have fixed deposits. So when they ask questions like, what's your income, how are you going, what they want to know is how I'm going to pay. So what that student should have said, the first words were, my family's income is 24 lakhs per year. I have fixed deposits of X, Z. Okay? So you have to make sure that your answers are short, that they are very clear, and they show that you know the school, and they show that you know how you're going to pay for it. Those are the 2 things, and only 2 things. One of the students that interviewed for the summer intake had a 30-second interview. All they asked him was what program, why he was doing it, and where is the money coming from. So the 3 questions they asked, 30 seconds, they said, we'll review your financials and we'll get back to you with a decision. And they let him know that he could pick up his visa the next day. So that's what you want to focus on.
Well, I hope our attendees have got their answers to that question, because we get that a lot. We hear that a lot from the students that we talk to, and that is a big concern for a lot of our students. And well, there's no magic to it, you know. I think you just have to be well prepared. Um, I think there is tons of materials out there on the internet, a lot of mock questions that you can prepare yourself with. Um, I think the key is to be confident, and that's exactly what our speakers have shared. Um, but also keep in mind some of the other points that Sheldon has shared. We are experiencing a lot of these, you know, situations that some of our students are facing. Those are the most common questions they get asked, and we would like you to be prepared with those answers to those questions. All right. Moving forward, I think, you know, that's pretty much it with some of the questions that we've got from our attendees. What I want to do is I quickly want to move on to an important piece that I wanted to share with our attendees here. College Chalo, as I said, we do a pre-orientation, and I know that Nirmal and Sheldon had brought this up, you know, a few minutes ago. But a pre-orientation is done with all the students that have been admitted at Merrimack, all the students that have their I-20s and will be joining the fall semester this August. So there is a pre-orientation that we do with every group that is joining Merrimack. So there's a pre-orientation that they attend here in India, and there is also an orientation that they will be a part of when they join the college. Some of the things that we do during the pre-orientation, and there are a lot more points that I have to add to this slide that you're seeing on your screens currently. But these are some of the basics that we prepare you with before you leave, because we think these are the basics and the must knows for every international student that's going to the US. Um, During the orientation, we also like to invite current students over Skype or through a web meeting like this, where you get to see them on the screen and ask questions. Because from now to the time of the pre-orientation, you might have a whole new set of questions that you want to ask us. So we like to take this time to help you with those questions, also help you better prepare for your journey from India to the US. What you see is very little of what we do during the pre-orientation. There's a lot more that we do. We also take help from the college itself. The college likes all the international students to know a few things before they come to the US, and all we do is we help you and support you preparing yourself. This is one. This is also a time, I think, a lot of students will get to know the other students that are there. We invite parents to be a part of this orientation. Um, what we will do is, once you move ahead with the application process, I know some of the attendees we have here, um, they are sitting with the admits. They still haven't taken the next step after getting the admits. Some of our attendees have got their I-20, so they are going to Merrimack. So it's a mix of attendees that we have here in the meeting. We hope to see some of the students that have their admits move ahead with the process by making their deposits and getting their I-20s. That's key, because you have to reserve your seat. That's very important for any student. You can't be sitting too long with an admit letter. We don't recommend that. But these are ways we support students going to Merrimack College. I want to invite Sheldon to say a few words about the pre-orientation, because Sheldon is also a big part of the pre-orientation that we do here in India. Venues are have not been decided yet, but we will send out an invite to every student that's going to Merrimack. We encourage you to bring your parents so that they feel comfortable seeing the other students that are going to the same college. They also get to meet other parents. It's important that you keep them informed about what are some of the steps you are taking, and and basically make them feel a little comfortable about sending you off to such a far place. Sheldon, do you want to add anything here?
Yeah, I love the pre-orientation. Gautam knows this. I've said this so many times. Both Gautam and Nirmal know orientation for me is one of the best times, because I get to meet all of the students once again that have decided to make Merrimack their academic choice. And it really is a fun time. This time I'm going to do a little bit of a game show at the beginning to keep everybody engaged and educate them a little bit more about novel American trivia. But it really is an opportunity for you to make some friends. We mix everybody up. The whole idea is to get everybody sort of out of their comfort zone and to make new friends. So when they do arrive in the United States, they already have familiar faces, and they're one step closer to making Merrimack their home. So again, it's one of the things we love to do. It's got great results from the previous batches of students that have gone through it. So we really hope that everybody will come this time for our orientation.
Right. So that's just one step that we take to help our students. Um, what I want to do before we end this web meeting is, I want our attendees to um, look into their inbox in a day or two. Our coordinator would want to reach out to you and see if you have any other questions. Um, you know, we have your email addresses and we may also have your phone numbers. So we're going to do everything to reach out to you. And the number that we shared with you on the second slide, feel free to have make a note of the number, so it becomes easy for you to get in touch with someone who's working with Merrimack every day. So have a look at your inbox in a day or two. You will have more information on what is some of the next steps we are taking to help you out. So I'll leave it at that. We do not have any more questions from our attendees, but I want to take a moment to thank Nirmal, Gautam, and Sheldon to take out time and be a part of this webinar. I think it's helping a lot of our students who are going to Merrimack. It's already helped a lot of students, so I'm sure you will be able to take um, all the information that they've given you, or all the views that they've shared with you, take it in a way and move forward, or take the next step in completing your application form. Um, Students that haven't done it, please go ahead and do that. If you have any uh, questions, still have any questions, talk to Rachna, talk to Sheldon. I think they are always available to answer any concerns, or help you with figuring out if this is a great place to be, and maybe that is the right choice to make. All right. Thank you once again. Thank you everyone for joining us today. We will have another webinar for students once they get their I-20s, and help them with the next steps. Once you'll also get invites to this webinar. All right. Thank you. Good night, and have a good day, Nirmal.
You too. Good night.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, good night,
Have a good
Thanks,
night.
Simon.
everyone.
Yeah.
All right.
If anyone want to talk to me, you can just call me. If you have any doubts, I'll help you guys out. I'm always happy to help you.